Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be a continuation of my last video, which was all about my journey from Nigeria to Finland. So please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe to my channel. It is very important that you subscribe, like and comment on my videos, and remember to hit on the bell notification so that you always be notified whenever I post new videos. So now, let's dive right into it. Traveling with a toddler is a very difficult thing to do, especially when it is your first time traveling with a child. And it's even worse when you're going to a very far distance, which in my own case, I was traveling to a very far place with my son that was barely 1 year old. He's this type that doesn't like staying at a place. You can see in my intro video there, you can see him running all over the place. So that's the kind of baby I have. I must say that if you're traveling with a child, you should have someone accompanying you. Like, you should have someone to be with you to help you out. And also, when you're traveling with a child, you should get ready for what might happen. On my own case, I wasn't able to travel with someone. Yeah, I wanted to, but I wasn't able to. I had no choice but to travel alone with my baby. I'm this kind of person that whenever I'm traveling with someone, except if I'm going around Enugu, because I'm from Enugu, Nigeria. So I know everywhere in Enugu. I can actually travel alone there. But whenever I'm leaving Enugu, I can't remember traveling by myself. It's either I'm going with my sister, or I'm going with my husband, or I'm going with a friend. So I'm not used to that. Not to talk of traveling outside Nigeria with a baby. Not only was I traveling with him, our luggage is included. So it wasn't easy at all. So when we reached the airport, no other person was allowed to go in with me. That was when it all started. Like, I was carrying my baby in one hand and I was pushing all my luggages, my big bags in one hand. So when we reached the place where we were supposed to weigh the bags, my son was just all over the place. He didn't want me to carry him anymore. I had to be chasing him. I had to come back and be weighing the bags. Like, I was so lucky that I found someone to help me. Like, it was as if God sent this person. He helped me with everything. He helped me to weigh the bags, and only to discover that I had excess luggages again for the second time. The one I experienced at Enugu now. I had my family around and they helped me with everything. But at Abuja, I wasn't allowed to come in with anybody. So it was the guy that helped me with everything. I was so lucky that my family hadn't gone very far from the airport. So I had to call them to come back. It was still the same person that helped me go out, take a bag from them, and then come out to help pack the excess luggages. So I was just so lucky to meet this person. I was wondering, what if he wasn't there? So my properties would have been scattered all over the place at the airport, or what would have happened? So whenever you're traveling, just make sure that you're carrying the exact weight that is required by the airport. That was my mistake. I was carrying excess, and that is why it was very hard for me. So when you're traveling, just check what you're carrying. I was lucky I had something in my pocket to show little appreciation. So I said goodbye, and then I went into the departure hall. So because we were going to be having a connecting flight at the Turkish airport, the plan was that my husband was going to leave Helsinki by 6 p.m. to arrive in Istanbul at around 10 p.m. the same day. And then we were supposed to leave Nigeria by 10 p.m. Yes, to arrive in Istanbul by 6 a.m. the next day. So he'd already been waiting for us at the airport when we arrived. But something happened. He was told initially that he wouldn't be needing a coronavirus test result for him to leave Finland to Turkey. But when he got to the airport on the same day that he was meant to travel, he was asked for the coronavirus result and he didn't have it. So long story cut short, he wasn't able to travel. So that was so difficult for me. Like, when I got to Istanbul, I was so tired because my son dealt with me in the plane. Like, he rejected the baby food that was offered to him. He was busy sucking my breast. He was crying all through. I was so confused. I couldn't find my way. I was trying to reach my husband, but I couldn't. I had my handbag, I had my hand luggage, and I also had my baby. I was carrying him. He was sleeping, and babies get heavier whenever they are sleeping. So it wasn't easy, and I needed to find my way. I was also pressed at the same time. So I decided to make a move, even though I didn't know where to go to. And I'm this kind of shy person. I don't like asking people. I like to figure out my own situation by myself. So my husband booked the lounge at the Turkish airport where we could go and rest, eat, and all that. But I couldn't locate the place. I have never been to that airport before, so I couldn't. And most of the people that I was mentioning the name of the place to didn't know the place. I was so tired. I was working, and then I decided to rest. I didn't have any money on me, even though I had some Naira notes, but it's not something I could spend there. The funny thing is that when I was leaving Nigeria, I had to pack some Naira notes in case anything happens. Funny girl. I was lucky to find somewhere to sit. I was sitting and thinking about my life and, all these negative thoughts. What if something happens to you? What if your flight leaves you? What if this? What if that? I was so confused. Like, I couldn't cry because there were people around there. I had to control myself. I just had to control myself. So luckily for me, I saw someone coming by. I saw someone passing, and my mind told me to ask this person. Like, I just had this positive mind to ask the person. I knew that once I stand up from that chair, someone else would sit there because there was no other available seat. It was very difficult for me to find that seat. So I knew that once I stand up from this seat, someone else is going to sit there. And immediately I stood up from the seat. Other person have already collected that seat. So I went straight to the person to ask him. Oh my goodness, I was so lucky. Do you know, this person took me. I was following him, and to my greatest surprise, he was even working at the place I'd been looking for since. He was a worker there. So I was so lucky to find the place. That was when my son decided to wake up. That was when he woke up. He didn't wake up all through when I was carrying him, so that at least he'd help me and reduce the weight I was carrying. At least he'll be walking. He didn't wake up then. It was when I had already located the place that he now woke up. I was not walking around the place again. I had to be chasing him all over the place again. So our flight was shifted. I was supposed to leave Istanbul for Finland by 10 a.m. the same morning, but it was shifted to 3 p.m. So we had to stay longer. And that place I was, luckily for me, we had free food. You can do anything you want at the place. We have already paid for everything there, drinks and all that. So I went to find my own food. I didn't see anything that I could eat. Everything there I wasn't familiar with all the food there. The only thing I could recognize in that place was egg. Boiled eggs. They were the only thing I could recognize there. Other things were bread that has all these tiny things inside it. Those things I did not like them. So I couldn't find anything to eat. And then this watery soup. Oh my goodness. I didn't have a choice. I was so hungry. My son had already sucked me dry. Like, the boy refused to eat. So when we were still at the lounge, I was checking arrival and departure beam board to know where my departure hall would be. I saw the place, and then I had to go and locate the place. That was when my son remembered that he wants to sleep again. Like someone that had been running around the place when we were seated. The time that he was supposed to be sleeping, he was running around. So when we started moving out, he started sleeping again. So I had to carry him again. It wasn't easy at all. So I wanted to locate the place. It was a bit hard for me, but I was lucky. I was lucky to have located the place. When we arrived at the place, the flight was already boarded. On arrival, I was leaving at once. We left for Finland. And that one, it didn't take too long. That was just, I think it was 3 hours flight. And my husband was already waiting for us there to help us with our luggages. I carried my bags and I didn't even walk a far distance, and my husband just came to join us there. So that was how I arrived Finland. I went through a lot. Yes, it was hard for me. It was my first time traveling a very long distance with a child. I encountered a lot of problems, but I was able to conquer. Yes, I did it. And I'm here. And I must say that Finland is a very, very beautiful place to be. Yes, apart from the cold, every other thing is super. So make sure to join me in my next video. Since I've come to the end of this one, please remember to subscribe, like, comment. What do you think? What would you like me to talk about? Anything, just comment, okay? And subscribe. Please subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you always be notified whenever I post new videos. Subscribe, please. Bye-bye.